Authorities have launched a criminal investigation into an explosion at a Connecticut power plant.
Clearly, if everything went right, we wouldn't all be here right now. They can't rule out criminal negligence. You know, they pretty much ruled out a terrorist act or an intentional act, but you can't rule out, I mean, there's a point where negligence raises to the level of criminal conduct, and that's what's being investigated at this point.
The deadly blast has left more questions than answers and strong emotions over the deaths of 5 workers.
I lost a couple good friends up there, and our heart goes out to all the families.
A dozen more were injured in the Sunday explosion in Middletown, Connecticut. About 100 workers were at the Clean Energy Systems facility at the time.
We just asked the media to just give us some time so we could all grieve and heal, and our prayers and thoughts go out to all the families. And I'm just so sorry that something like this happened.
Workers were purging a gas line when something went terribly wrong. The blast shook nearby communities.
We felt it, and I got a phone call shortly after, probably about 11:20, and somebody had reported that this had happened. And my first thoughts were, I have still friends that are on the job site up here, and so we came down to see if we could try to, help if they were looking for volunteers and stuff.
The explosion left huge pieces of metal that once encased the plant peeling off its sides. There are 10-foot-high piles of rubble. Rescue crews combed through that rubble until the early hours of the morning, but they were not sure if they could reach one unstable section of the plant. Officials later confirmed that everyone who had been scheduled to work Sunday had been accounted for. Those who survived could face a long recovery.
These were mostly blast and then secondary blast injuries. So the initial injury from the explosion followed by being thrown upwards of 30 or 40 feet and whatever surface they may have landed on.
Federal investigators have traveled to the blast site. Officials with the U.S. Chemical Safety Board say they were turned away by local authorities when they arrived. Team members were told they'd be allowed in once they're cleared by criminal investigators. Brad Thomas, The Associated Press.